Tuesday, video number 2. Here's a face. All right. 3, 2, 1. A judge has ruled that Donald Trump's Chicago hotel and the Trump Organization itself that owns the hotel can be fined up to $12 million for violating city environmental laws for 3 straight years. Now, this isn't too much of a horrible thing, what the Trump administration did. Okay? It's not like they were dumping horrendous toxins into the Chicago River. What they were doing is they were allowed to pump water. They had a permit to pump water from the Chicago River into their hotel to cool it down. And then the water was returned to the river at a slightly warmer temperature. That's what the permit said. The permit expired in 2017, and they didn't bother to renew it, but they continued to use the water from the river violation of environmental laws of the city of Chicago. So now the judge has said, you knowingly did this. You can face up to $12 million in fines. So again, not the worst crime we have ever seen the Trump Organization, be accused of, but at the same time, this is what happens, right? This is what happens when you continuously act like you are above the law, when you never face any kinds of consequences, when you just keep doing whatever the hell you want. And it always seems to work out. You always continue to push the envelope. And this might not be a big envelope pushing here with what they're being accused of doing, just operating without a permit, taking out water and putting the water back in. That's not, huge and horrible, but it just shows that there is no procedure. There is no urgency within the Trump Organization to follow the letter of the law. That's what we're dealing with at this point. They simply don't care, because they don't have to care, because nobody's ever made them. Have to care. You start getting careless, you start getting sloppy. Do we need to do the permit for this? That we really want to worry with that? Or can we just say, screw it? What's the worst they're going to do? They're going to find us while we got to pay a lot of money to get the permit. Anyway, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. We can probably argue the fine down, and by the way, we can also write off part of the fine as our business, so we actually save money by not going and getting the permit. And that's the other side of this. That's not just the Trump Organization, by the way. We see that with companies all over the country. Every single year, sometimes it's actually cheaper to violate the law than is to follow it. And that's why they do that. Who knows the rationale for the Trump's Chicago hotel? One thing we do know, however, is that Eric and Don Jr. were in charge of the Chicago hotel at the time the permit expired. It was up to them to do it. We know they've also had some problems. Remembering to pay taxes on the Chicago hotel. The whole thing is, pretty dysfunctional, which also kind of shows you the ones that he's no longer involved in it. I seriously doubt the 2 idiot brothers are going to be able to keep that business afloat.